All right, guys. Ryan Little joining me here. Two remote sales reps. Together,
Sure.
we have closed multiple seven figures, hundreds, if not thousands, of sales calls closed. And in this video, we're going to walk through every single objection you could possibly get in sales. So, if you're new to sales or if you've been doing sales for a long time, this video is pretty much everything you need.
Giving you guys the sauce.
Giving the sauce. So, we're just going to do a little role playing. A key to remember is that every single objection you get, you always want to pace the first objection. So you want to ask a couple questions just to get a prospect in a flow. And then after a couple questions, that's where you actually solve it. So we're just going to do a little role playing, and you guys can see kind of how it's done from Bangkok, Thailand, to remote sales reps. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, beautiful. You want to go first, or?
Yeah. So, Tanner, I really do need to think about it first. So,
No worries, man. I mean, aside from just needing to think about it, do you still feel like this is kind of exactly what you were looking for?
yeah, I think this will totally get me to where I want to go. And it's just, I really am not the type of person to make the decision on the spot.
Completely understand that. Completely understand. When you say you're not that type of person, what exactly do you mean by that?
I just don't think I'm the type of person to make action like on the call. Like, I really just want to go think on it, weigh my thoughts, and see like where I actually want to go.
I hear you. Is it just kind of the nerves of making that decision?
Yeah, it's just very risky, and there's really no guarantee that I'll be able to make it to the goal.
Yep. That is true, and there's two kind of ways you can look at it. There's two like paths you could go down, right? You could be the type of person that just stays in the 9 to 5 forever, takes the safer route, and therefore you get the results of just playing it safe, or you can be the type of person that's willing to take risks, willing to move through that fear, willing to move through those nerves, make a hard decision because you know that's the next best step for your future. So tell me, man, I mean, do you feel like this is the next best step for you based on everything I told you?
Yeah, I definitely want to be the type of person to take the risk because I really just want to do anything it takes to get to that goal.
You sure? You sure you want to take a risk?
Yeah, I'm sure. Send over the link.
You ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Beautiful. So that's called the identity close. So you basically compare like who they could be, like that you don't want them to be, versus like the person that you want them to be, and you can kind of like tailor it to literally anything. So that's in like an opportunity of like any like way of like making money outside the 9 to 5. Like, do you want to play it safe, or do you want to be the type of person to take risks and actually get the freedom? If so, you're gonna have to move through that fear. Basically, telling them they need to make a decision if they think it's the next best step for them. So, all right, brother, let's see how you handle it because we both have different styles, right? So,
Yeah.
Ryan could handle it a bit differently. Yeah, you're in the. So we obviously have different styles. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man, everything sounds good. I just want to think about it.
Okay. So, aside from the price and everything like that, do you feel like what we kind of went over in the call can help you get to at least 10,000 a month with trading?
Yeah, I think it could get me there.
Okay. So, do you think it's more of the risk and you're a little bit unsure that you'll be able to kind of make it to where you want to be in life, or like what do you think the real thing is?
I think it's more like I just need more time to like actually make a decision and really feel out if this is the next best step for me.
Okay. So, there's like two different types of ways you can kind of go about it. You can either never take any risk in life, never take any action on your goals. And the thing is, you'll be guaranteed to stay in that exact same point in your life until you decide for yourself that you're ready to make a change and you're ready to take action on your goals at hand. So, do you want to never take any risk in life and guarantee to stay in the same exact spot? Or do you want to take a chance on life to actually get to where you want to go?
I mean, obviously, I need to take a chance.
Yeah. So, where do you think we should go from here?
I mean, yeah, I guess let's just do it, man.
All right. Perfect. Welcome aboard.
All right, beautiful. All right.
Cool. So, with sales, like Tanner and I both have different styles because sales is really an art form. We don't teach and we don't like learn sales from like, fuck. I was gonna say like
We don't learn sales from just like a Google Doc. Like we learn the best way you're gonna learn sales is from going out there and actually doing it. But like obviously videos like these are gonna help you, but you're gonna get the most experience just from going out there, but having the right framework to approach it and then tailoring it to what you feel most comfortable with over time.
Yeah, because a lot of people they just like to read books, they like to read scripts, but that's not the best way to learn sales. The best way to learn is to get in the field, do the thing, and actually gain the experience you need so you can see what works, what doesn't work, so that we can keep doing what works and just increase your sales over time.
Yep. And solving objections is a lot of philosophy. So you'll get really good at solving objections just by becoming your best self, because the same philosophy it takes to solve objections and pass on to the prospect is the philosophy you'll get from living up to your potential. For example, like the objection you just solved is like,
Yeah.
do you want to get uncomfortable? Do you want to take risks and become the type of person you need to become through going through that journey to actually reach your goal? Or do you want to just stay in the same spot and never take risks and stay the exact same? So it's really just philosophy. And once you understand that, it's not really about the direct scripting. It's more about how to actually think about life. And that's what you're transferring over to the prospect. So it's basically a mindset that you're transferring over, giving them confidence so that they can kind of like view the world differently. It's really just passing on
Yeah, it's like a
a
reality
mindset.
transfer.
Yeah, exactly. You're like helping switch the prospect's reality. So, yeah, man. I mean, sounds good. I think it's just too expensive.
Yeah, so I mean, aside from the price and everything like that, like, do you think that weighing out like making 10,000 a month with trading, do you think that's worth the 5,000 today if you're pretty much guaranteed to get to that 10,000 a month mark?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it. It's just how do I know if I'm 100% going to get there?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no guarantees that we can get you to that 10,000 a month mark, but we can guarantee that we'll give you the tools in order for you to actually get there. But I mean, we can't type in the numbers, we can't click the keyboard, we can't do all the action for you, but we'll guarantee that we'll be able to help you at least have the chance to do so. Do you think so? Do you think you're the type of person to actually take action and do the work that's needed to get to that goal, or do you think once you kind of buy into this program, do you think you'll just kind of just go back to 9 to 5 and grind out the 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, or do you think you'll do anything it takes to do the work to make it work in the first place?
Yeah, man. I definitely think if I paid 5 grand, like I would take it seriously.
Yeah, like don't you think that 5 grand is going to sting your bank account, right?
Yeah, bro, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, don't you think that pain will motivate you to take action to get you to that goal?
Yeah, it actually would.
Okay,
Yeah.
so ready to get started?
Yeah, man. Could you just send me like some testimonials or something just so I can have more confidence?
Yeah,
Or could I talk to like a student of you guys's?
yeah. Well, do you think those testimonials, talking to those students, do you think that'll help you make a decision, or do you think it's a decision you need to make for yourself to get to that point in life where you actually want to be?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a decision I need to make for myself. But I think seeing testimonials would definitely help.
Okay. And I know, like, seeing other people's testimonials, that might help you feel a little bit comfortable. But
Yeah.
the thing is, we have to get uncomfortable in life. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to take those chances in order to give ourselves the opportunity to get us to where you want to go. So, just watching testimonials and seeing other people live your dream life. Like, don't you just want to live your dream life now instead of just pushing it off, watching others live your dream life? Don't you think you want to start now to actually get to where you want to be?
Yeah, you're right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I should probably just do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like that. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, because when people say like they want to like have like a comfortable decision, like it's never going to be comfortable.
Yeah, it's never going to be comfortable.
So that's the thing. Like, it's like helping them feel comfortable with getting uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That's like
that's
the key. I mean, yeah, but that's like the key is like helping people feel comfortable to get uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
helping them realize like getting uncomfortable is normal and that's what they need.
Yeah, change is uncomfortable, so you just have to help them feel at ease with making the uncomfortable decision to change their life.
Yes, yes. That's what Dan Henry said at that mastermind. He said like objections in sales, it's literally just helping people be comfortable making a decision. So a lot of people get uncomfortable making a big decision, especially if you're a remote sales rep selling high ticket products and services. Like, I mean, it's always going to be an uncomfortable decision for most people. So like the reason like we get paid so much is because it's more like psychology, like helping people get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, like all we really are as remote sales reps is like doctors helping people with their sickness of their lives that they're living. So just
Exactly.
finding out where they are, where they're like sick in life, and then providing them the cure, which is like whatever we're selling to them to help them change their life.
Exactly. And the same thought process that brought people to the call with the illness is not the same thought process that's going to get them to their goals, right?
Yeah.
So you have to instill like a whole different way of thinking that's gotten you to where you are. And specifically like us, because obviously we're like more successful than most people our age. So our mindset, if we can transfer that over to the prospect and help them believe it and see the world in a different way, that's how you solve objections.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just giving the prospect a belief. So hit me with something, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, I really love the program. I really want to get started, but I do have to just talk to the wife to make sure everything's okay with her.
All good, man. All good. Definitely wouldn't want you to have any like divorces because of us.
Yeah.
But aside from just needing to talk to her, I mean, just based off what we talked about, you specifically, do you feel like this is exactly what you were looking for?
Yeah, I think this is like the perfect thing for me. I just really don't want to get in trouble with the wife. I want to go ahead and get started, but I do just want to check in with her
I
first.
understand, man. I understand. So you're on your end, you're 100% in. It's just getting her on board as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm curious, what do you think she'll say? Because obviously, the program's $6,000. So, obviously, it's not like a tiny amount of money. It's not like going out to eat. So, what do you think she'll say when you go like, "Hey, this random kid I met on the internet, he wants 6 grand. I kind of want to do it." Like, what do you think she'll say?
To be honest, I don't think she'll be comfortable just because it's a lot of money online. It could be a scam. That's what she'll probably think because,
Yeah.
you know,
So obviously, she wasn't on the call. She didn't get to see everything that I just walked you through. So she doesn't really have the knowledge of why this would be a good decision. So I mean, do you feel like if she was to say no, would you just do it anyway because you know it's the next best step for you?
yeah, I think I probably would still do it no matter what she says.
Okay, I hear you, man. And don't you think it would be a better way to go about this, leading or going from a position of leadership, saying, "Honey, I made this decision. This is exactly why I did it," rather than going and asking her, and then when she says no, doing it behind her back? Don't you think it would be better to just lead from that point?
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be probably best for sure.
Okay, makes sense, man. Well, do you have like a card where you can spend it without her noticing, or
Yeah, I mean, do you guys take crypto?
we do? We
Oh,
do.
okay, perfect.
All right.
Can you just send me a good address for Ethereum? That's kind of what I have all my money in right now.
All right, beautiful, man. And then if she has any questions after the fact, happy to hop on with her and give her some more confidence. That way she doesn't kill you while you're sleeping.
Okay, yeah,
All
fair enough.
right,
Let's do
man.
it.
Beautiful. So yeah, with the wife objection, you always want to add like some humor just to break up. Like there's always going to be like some tension when you get to the end of the calls. Obviously, this is kind of simulated, so it's not as bad. But
Yeah, yeah,
especially when it's like a big decision, like you want to use humor to kind of break it up a little bit,
yeah.
especially with the wife
It
one.
takes a
People
lot of
get
pressure
sensitive.
off,
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Humor is like a pressure taker offer. So,
Ooh.
all right, bro, hit me with another one.
Cool. So, I mean, I do believe in the program. I think it can help me make 10,000 a month anywhere in the world. But I mean, $5,000, that's a lot of money for me right now.
Gotcha. Aside from, obviously 5 grand being a decent amount of money, do you still feel like the program we discussed, like, do you see the value in that? Do you feel like that's what you need to actually get to 10,000 a month?
Yeah, I think it has everything I need, all the tools I need to get to that point. But I mean, it's just so much money. I don't think I can spend that right now.
No worries, man. No worries. So you're not really in a position, just to be clear, of if you should do it, you're more in a position of how you can actually make it work financially.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, in terms of that, man, we've definitely had students in the same spot as you. But what we can sometimes offer is just like some sort of payment plan. That way you can get in for less than 5,000. We can set it into a payment plan that works for both of us. That way you can actually start making progress. You're not in the same spot, and you can actually make it work financially. But in terms of our payment plans, it's really all customized. So are you open to just having a conversation where you're at financially just to see what we can make work?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. So what's like your exact cash on hand right now?
Right now, I have about 2,500 just in my bank right now.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. So I mean, we could do. Obviously, I don't want to take all of your cash. You need some to live on. So after bills, like what's kind of the amount left that you could invest?
I could probably do around 2,000. I already paid rent, paid for food and everything like that, so I have like probably
Okay,
2 grand to play with right now.
gotcha. So you're not going to be like living under a bridge if you invest 2 grand today.
No, I won't be eating the bugs, so 2 grand
Okay.
is very comfortable for me right now.
Okay, good man. Well, would you be able to do like 2 grand for three months? Because obviously with the payment plan, like it is going to be a bit extra. But we could do 2 grand to start, and then in a month 2 grand, and then a month after that another 2 grand. So it will be a bit more, but at least you can get started. And in a couple months, you could obviously be making money with this, and then just pay it back with the money you make from the knowledge inside the program.
Yeah, that'll make a lot more sense for me right now.
All right, beautiful. Are you ready to rock and roll then?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Start
let's
the
do
band.
it. Nice, that's good. Yeah, that one's pretty good. So it's just getting like their cash on hand. So basically saying all your payment plans are customized, even though like a lot of the companies you'll be with, you'll have like set payment plans, but it's really just about getting the prospects kind of open up and be honest. That way you can even customize a payment plan for them based on like actually what's best for them. So it's in the prospect's best interest to kind of get their payment plans, get their cash on hand. And if they're not willing to kind of tell you what their cash on hand is, then that means it's probably not their real objection and there's some sort of trust issue.
Yeah.
So you don't even want to go that route. But if the prospect's willing to tell you exactly how much is in their account, exactly what their
Yeah.
bills are, like they fully trust you and they want to do it. So it's just a matter of working something out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, yep. All right, I'll hit you with something,
All right,
bro.
cool. Yeah, hit me hard.
All right, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, everything sounds good. It's just like, how do I know if this is like real?
Yeah, I mean, so you've already seen from the videos that you saw before the call, like you've already seen a lot of the results from our students so far. So, I mean, do you kind of relate to some of those students who had a pretty similar story that we've kind of talked about on the call? Like, do you think you kind of relate to some of them?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I watched a couple of those, but it's just like, I guess how do I know that you guys didn't just like fake those? I guess because I've had a bad experience with like a program before, and I just didn't really get the value out of it.
Yeah, I got you. So, I mean, let me ask you, Tanner, like, have you traveled before? You've stayed at good hotels, you've stayed at bad hotels, and I mean, when you stayed at these bad hotels, like, did that ever stop you from traveling again?
No, no, no. It didn't.
Okay, so even if you've had bad experiences in the past, like, will that ever stop you from trying to reach your goals?
No, no. I mean, it definitely wouldn't. Like, I don't think so.
Okay. And I mean, Tanner, you seem like a very smart guy. Like, you wouldn't hop on a call with me if you thought this wasn't real. If you thought this was a scam, you'd be smart enough not to even hop on the call, right?
That's true. Yeah, actually, that's true.
Okay. So, I mean, where do you think we should go from here? Do you think you're ready to kind of just take the leap and
Yeah,
go ahead and get started?
yeah. I mean, I think it sounds good, but after I give you the money, like, what exactly is going to happen?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll just kind of stay on the call with you, make sure you feel comfortable, make sure you feel confident, and go ahead and get started with the program. So once you kind of get the payment taken care of, I'll stay on the call with you, make sure you get inside, get everything set up, so that way you can go ahead and get started immediately after the call. Does that
And
sound
is
fair?
Yeah, it sounds good. And is there like some sort of refund policy? Like, if I get in and I don't like it?
Yeah, I mean, so if you don't like the program or anything at all, I mean, we don't really have a refund policy right now, and that's just because when you do make this investment, you have all the information, all the tools you need in order to succeed. So, I mean, after the call, I mean, it's not really on us whether or not you succeed and take action. We give you everything you need in order to make it to where you want to go, but it's entirely up to you whether or not you actually want your goal or not. So, I mean, at the start of the call, you said you wanted to make at least 10,000 a month. Has anything changed?
No, that's still my main goal.
Okay. So, are you going to stop yourself from getting there, or do you think you're ready to kind of get on board?
Yeah, I mean, I should probably just take the risk.
Yeah. I mean, if you never take any risk in life, if you never even try to get to your goal, do you think you'll ever get there?
No, definitely not, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Definitely not.
if you never take any risk, you're literally guaranteed to stay where you are right now. So, are
That's
you
true.
kind of ready to take that risk?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Perfect.
Oh, beautiful.
Welcome aboard.
So that's like someone that's like just super super nervous, like has
Yeah.
been scammed before,
Yeah.
and like I sometimes feel bad for those people, but also like you can always find some sort of value from every single program, like
Yeah.
especially if someone's living the life you want to live. Every single like course or program or coaching I've gotten, even if it didn't lead to like the exact point that I wanted, it was some sort of information that's helped me along the journey.
Yeah.
And you have to take the good with the bad. So like if you invest into 10 courses, 10 programs, which is a lot. I mean, I've probably invested like 40 grand into that sort of stuff, like knowledge, mentorships, etc. Even if like two work out, that's like way worth like the 40K.
Yeah, and especially because some people spend 200,000 plus on like universities, colleges, and they get little to no skills at all.
Yeah.
So even spending 40 grand, that's probably still a lot less. And you've
Yeah.
gained so much more knowledge compared to just spending 200,000 to learn absolutely nothing, party, drink, hang out with friends, and you just gain so much more knowledge and add so much value to yourself. That is it's a lot more worth it than spending 200,000 to party and drink all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like in college, like you're learning from people that have never actually done what you want to do, but
Yeah.
with mentorships and courses, obviously you want to make sure if you guys are going out there, you want to make sure the people that you're learning from have actually done it. So looking at their testimonials, looking at proof, making sure they're actually professionals. So actually doing some research on them before you pay them to mentor you, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you find someone that's actually doing what you want, is successful with it, and is living the life that you want, it's way more valuable than just going to college where you're learning business from a professor that's never had a business before, right?
Yeah. So Tanner, I really do want to get started, but I just don't think I have the time to put to this right now.
Yeah.
So maybe I can get started next month.
I hear you, man. I hear you. And when I asked you about that earlier in the call, I know you said you could probably find some time, but aside from just the time, like wanting to wait it out, I mean, do you still feel like this is going to help you get to where you want to go?
Yeah, I think absolutely it will. I just don't think I have the time right now to put into this.
Okay. No worries, man. No worries. What do you feel like is kind of in the way in your time? Like just your 9 to 5? Or?
Yeah, so right now I'm working this big factory job. It's like 50 to 60 hours a week. I got a wife, I got kids. I just have a lot of stuff on my plate right now, and I don't think I can add more on. So I don't think I can eat anymore.
You don't think you can what?
I don't think I can eat anymore. I don't think I can
Oh,
put any
okay,
more
okay,
stuff on
okay.
my plate.
I understand. I understand. Well, let me ask you this, man. I mean, are you still serious about getting this done and investing into the market and gaining back your time in the long run?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely sure this will help me get to my goals. I just don't think I have the time right now.
I hear you, man. I hear you. And obviously, we all have 24 hours in a day. Like, time is our most valuable asset.
Yeah,
But it really comes down to whether you want to be the type of person that is willing to sacrifice for their goals, is willing to do the late nights, maybe sleep a couple extra or a couple less hours per
yeah,
night, and actually get to where you want to go for the long term freedom that you want to achieve. Like you told me, having more time with your family, being able to see your kids because you'll be able to retire early with what we're going to teach you with time and with work. Or you can be the type of person just stay in the same spot, keep pushing it down a month. And you told me, you've been looking into this for like 6 months now, and you kind of finally got on a call with us. So, I mean, are you just going to keep pushing it down, or do you want to be the type of person that's willing to actually sacrifice for their goals and put in the extra time?
yeah. I definitely want to be the first type of person, so that way I can maybe just sacrifice a few months and have a lifetime of freedom to do actually what I want to do.
Okay. I mean, are you sure you're willing to put in a couple extra hours a day to get there, to get
Yeah,
to that goal?
yeah, I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
Just go ahead and do it.
So you don't need to wait a month.
No, no, no. Let's just do
All
it
right.
now. Because if I don't do it now, I'll never do it.
Yeah, I agree, man. Let's do it then. Okay. All right, bro. So yeah, with that, also with objections overall, like you want to have like a very curious, like you never really want to assume anything, just
Yeah,
in sales overall, but especially in objections, you want to have like a childlike curiosity. So I asked him, what he feels like is going to be taking up his time, um, like all these sorts of things, asking questions to clarify, and then once you have the right knowledge, then you can actually go in for the kill, I guess, and like solve the objection.
yeah. It's like kind of like a doctor. You don't want to prescribe the wrong medication. You want to prescribe the right thing. So you
Yeah.
need to know exactly what's wrong, like what's going on in their life, so that way you can prescribe the exact thing that they need in order to succeed with whatever goals they have.
Yep. And it's also about having the prospect's best interest in mind
Yeah,
because if this prospect wants to wait a month, 99% of people are just going to keep pushing it down the road. And if they feel like, especially if you're selling a product or service that you were super passionate about and you see the results inside of whatever you're selling, you see that it truly helps people, you're going to want to do what's in the best interest for the prospect, right?
yeah,
So if this guy, for example, like when I used to close for a guy that taught people how to invest into the market properly, like super safely, not like day trading or anything, but just like do like long, consistent plays in the market. Like these people wanted to retire early, they wanted to spend more time with their families. So pushing it down the road isn't what's best for the prospect. What's best for the prospect is helping them realize that they're going to have to actually sacrifice to reach their goals for the long term benefit of them and their family. So
yeah,
it's best to get a commitment, help the prospect make that decision. And when you're approaching it from the viewpoint of what's best for the prospect, not yourself, that's where you can actually start closing deals and making a ton of money
yeah.
and having a good impact at the same time.
Yeah, I mean that was the main issue I had when I first started closing. Is I was like, okay, how am I gonna make this money on this sales call? I need to get this commission in so I can pay my bills. But the
Yep.
more you take yourself out of the equation and the money and everything like that, you just focus entirely on helping the prospect reach their goals. The more easier it is for you to sell, the more effortless it is, and the more you just take yourself out of the equation and focus entirely on helping the prospect get him to where he wants to go.
Yep, exactly. What would you say is your least favorite objection to solve, or like the hardest for you?
I think the wife objection for sure because
Yeah.
some people they just are entirely cooked. They can't make any decisions without the wife,
Yeah,
and they just don't have the balls to make that decision for themselves. But
it's rough.
if you're able to clarify that they're able to make the decision for themselves earlier on in the call, then the less likely that wife objection will come up later when you're trying to get the commission, the close, and everything like that.
Yep. 100%, 100%. I
What
never want
about
to be
you?
in a position. I always would want to be the leader of the household.
Yeah,
So I would always want to be in a position where I'm like the one making decisions what's best for our whole family.
yeah,
So obviously that is pretty rough, but I guess it's more installing the belief that they should be the leader. They should go out there and make a decision for what's best for the family, while also including the wife in it, letting her know and not being secretive. Right. That's why I kind of approach it from. Do you want to be, take this from a point of leadership and tell her why you made this decision? Tell her you took action on your own because you feel like this is the next,
yeah,
next,
yeah,
like next best step, or do you want to like ask her kind of cuck out and then she says no and then you do it behind her back and then that's like even worse, right?
yeah,
So in that case you're actually helping the prospect as well, because a lot of times like the wife isn't on the call, they're nervous, like women are kind of meant to like protect and like kind of hedge against risk.
Yeah.
But as a man, like you have to go out there and take what's yours and do what's best for the family. And sometimes you're the only one that knows what's the best decision.
Yeah, exactly. And this one's a little bit too salesy, but it's a lot better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission.
Exactly. I like that. Beautiful. All right. What's another good objection? Did we do the I need to think about it yet?
No.
Like, let's
I don't
just
think so.
go solid on like I need to think about it.
All right, cool.
Just
Yeah,
like
hit me with that real quick.
yeah, everything sounds good, bro. Just yeah, just give me a few days. I can send you an email back. What's your email again?
It's Ryan Little Lifestyle at gmail.com. But aside from the investment and everything like that, do you believe fully that this mentorship can help you get to at least 10,000 a month with trading?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think, aside from like the risk and aside from the pricing and everything like that, do you believe like that we can help you and that you can help yourself and to actually take action towards your goals in the first place?
I mean, yeah, I definitely could. I always think about it, like, no matter what, like, even if I thought this was everything I was looking for,
Yeah.
like, I would still want to think about it just to, like, sleep on it one night.
Yeah, 100%. And do you think, I mean, there's two types of people in the world. There's the people that just always think about it, they overanalyze everything, they never take any action immediately, and they always just push things off and never ever take action in the first place. And they never ever reach their goals at all. Or do you want to be the second type of person that's the person that always takes action, always takes the calculated risk to reach their goals if everything aligns with what they're looking for? Like, what do you think is like the type of person that you want to be today and like in your life? Like, do you want to be the type of person that always just is settling for the comfortability, the complacency, the mediocrity of life, or the type of person that achieves what they want and goes after what they want no matter what happens and they won't stop until they actually get there? Like, what type of person do you think you are?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be the second type person, the person that takes risks and takes action, but I just don't want to make, like, a bad decision. That's why I always, like, sleep on it.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Tanner, I think you and I both know you're a very smart guy. Like, if this wasn't exactly what you're looking for, if this wasn't the decision that you wanted to make for yourself, like, do you think you would have even hopped on the call today?
No, I mean, I hopped on because I knew you guys were legit and you could help me.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think just pushing this off, putting it aside for the future, like, do you think you would make the decision then, or do you want to make the decision right now to go after what you truly want in this life?
I mean, it's going to be hard, but I know I should, like, make a decision.
Okay. And it's just a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit risky, right?
I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Okay. So, I mean, I know it's like the risk, the price, and everything like that, but I mean, if you never take any chances, if you never take any risk in life, you're literally guaranteed to stay where you are right now in the 9 to 5 job that you said you hated earlier on in the call. So, I mean, if you never take any action, especially today, like, do you think you'll ever even take a step closer to your goal, or do you think you need to take that first step for yourself, even though it might be a little bit uncomfortable?
Yeah, I need to take that step, man. Let's do it.
Okay, perfect. So, I mean, is Tanner Johanson at gmail.com the perfect email for you, or?
That's the best email, dude.
Perfect.
Let me make sure you're in the shot all the way. Yeah, I have kind of a different approach to the just go hard on just like if you want to sleep on it, like just that's like the type of person you are.
Tanner, I really just want to meditate on it. I want to think on it. I just really want to take a few days to just rest up, gather my thoughts, and then I'll make a decision then.
No worries, man. Aside from just wanting to, like, obviously think it over, sleep on it, do you still feel like this is exactly what you need to, actually reach passive income and eventually retire in the next few years?
Yeah, I just really am not the type of person to make a decision like immediately. I just always think about it, always meditate on it, make sure this is in my best interest, and I'll kind of just get back to you later on.
No worries, man. No worries. I mean, do you want me to be completely honest with you about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you're 100% in, you just want to, like, sleep on it just to, like, give yourself more confidence in this?
Yeah. I just really want to be 100% sure that this is what I want to do.
Gotcha, man. Would you agree that there's people in the world that started in the exact same position as you are, with the exact same resources that are further ahead of you now, like more successful in the areas you want to be successful in?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably 20-year-old kids in the exact same, they're born in the exact same, net worth house as you, had the exact same resources, everything along those lines, but maybe now they're millionaires, right? And you're not a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you agree that the results you get are directly influenced by the decisions you make and how you make decisions?
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree.
Okay. Makes sense. And you agree that you're not where you want to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just kind of stuck in this shitty job, working hideous hours and not really feeling great.
I hear you, man. I hear you. So, I mean, do you think that, like, the same decision making that got you to that point is going to get you to where you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, I think it will. It just kind of the price is a little bit too much, and I just don't know. I'm just kind of scared right now.
I hear you, man. But if the same decision making brought you to this call, how do you expect it to get you to where you want to be? Because the way you make decisions is what brought you to this call in the first place, and it's the whole reason you are in this situation. So do you agree that in order to get out of this situation, you're going to have to use a different form of decision making and make decisions in a different way to therefore get different results?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I do need to start maybe just thinking a little bit differently, because I mean the action that I'm taking right now, they've led me to where I am now. So
Yeah,
to create a new life, I need to take different actions. Yeah.
exactly that. So would you agree that in order to actually get the results you want, you have to make the uncomfortable decision and you have to actually make a decision rather than just sleeping on it like you usually do?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's probably the case. Yeah.
Makes sense, man. And since you said this is exactly what you were looking for, I mean, don't you think we should just rock and roll, get you started since you're gonna have to start making decisions differently?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I have to change. Let's do it.
I agree, brother. All right, let's do
Yeah, that was pretty fire.
it. Thanks, man. Oh man, it's getting dark out here. I feel like that's mostly objections, right? That's like the most
Yeah,
common
yeah.
ones.
And it's just like unprogramming the programming that the prospects have been through because their entire lives, like with most of you guys, you've been programmed to never take any risk and to just settle for like the 9 to 5 for a job that you hate just to make ends meet. But
Yes.
challenging these prospects and reprogramming them to install limiting beliefs into their minds and to let them know that anything is possible as long as they take action and they take the risk that they can achieve anything in life. And that's what our job is as
Yep.
remote sales reps, is to change lives and to change the way they think, to
Yep.
be able to let them know that anything is possible if they put in the work and make things happen for themselves. Because if not, they're guaranteed to stay in the exact same life and they're guaranteed to stay in the shitty lives that they're in right now. So you have to like
Yeah.
kind of let them know that nothing will change unless they change, and that's what your
Exactly.
job is to change people
It's
and
just
change
like,
their lives.
yeah, it's just like getting really good at philosophy and like a way of thinking, right? So you can
Yeah,
like program that into the prospect's brain. And also like if you're in remote sales, you need to start like actually developing yourself as well so that you can actually have the confidence to give these prospects these beliefs. Because I mean, me and Ryan, we moved to Thailand at 19 years old. That is a big risk. Like we get uncomfortable ourselves. We're always looking to improve. And so the reason we're actually able to transfer that belief into the prospects of like taking risks, getting uncomfortable, making the hard decisions is because we've literally done it ourselves through our entire lives. That's why we're successful, and that is what is going to make the prospects successful as well. So when you are actually living that and when you live by these philosophies, it's like way easier for you
yeah,
to actually convince the prospect that this is how they should think.
yeah. Because you're like living in what you speak, so it's like the absolute truth which is coming out of your mouth because we've
Exactly.
lived what we're trying to help our prospects do.
Yeah, it's almost like you're mentoring them like mini on a sales call. You're
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
mentoring them on like life philosophy, but obviously you're doing it in a way that's like best for them to like actually make a decision, and obviously best for you as a sales rep to get them started. But it's super important to sell something that actually helps people because if you're solving objections for something that doesn't help people, then you're not going to like feel that good about it. But
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're solving objections that truly changes people's lives, it's going to be way easier because you're actually going to be passionate about it, and it's actually what's best for the
Yeah,
prospect,
it's
right?
very fulfilling being able to change people's lives and seeing the testimonials later on. Like they're like, "Oh, I was very
Yeah,
scared to
yeah.
take this risk, but I took it. Now I'm living out my dream life, and it feels very good inside that you've actually helped people
Yep.
level up their lives to where they actually want to be instead of like just giving up on the call and not
Yep.
being able to solve those objections, and then they just have to stay in that shitty life. So being able to
Exactly.
solve those objections, being able
Yep.
to help change people to where they actually want to be in life, that's just very fulfilling indeed.
Yeah, like you're almost doing the prospect a disservice by not solving their objection because
Yeah, yeah.
you think of the people that did say yes, maybe you solved their objections, maybe you didn't, but they made that hard decision for themselves. They put in the work and they changed their lives. And then you think about the people that said no, like you maybe were too pussy to like solve their
Yeah,
objections, like
yeah.
you just got off the call, you were lazy, and now that person 3 months later is in the exact same position. Nothing has changed. But if you would have had like manned up and like had the skills to actually solve that objection, you would have made the prospect make a decision and you therefore would have changed our lives. So you're actually doing yourself a disservice by not solving you're doing the prospect a disservice and yourself by not having the proper skills, which is why we obviously made this training.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hopefully you guys enjoyed. Check out Mr. Ryan Little on Instagram, YouTube. What's your YouTube?
Ryan Little with two N's and two E's.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you check out my other video right here on how you can actually land a good remote sales position if you're not in it yet. And if you guys want like help from me, like you want to get into a training and get mentored by me, kind of get this sort of support one-to-one role play with me, just have all of my systems that have helped me reach where I am today, then click the link below. There's a free course and you can actually start working personally with me, whichever you would prefer. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.